Yo, what's the word, boys? Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to do a tier list. I haven't done this in a very long time. We're going to be ranking UFC champions based on how entertaining we are, or they are. Not me, I'm not a UFC champion. You know, I fucking wish, but it's okay. We have some tiers. Must watch at the top. Always entertaining. Moderately entertaining. Mid-period. 25-minute pee break. And Belal Muhammad. I didn't create this tier list. I found it on the internet, but we're going to roll with it. Let's start off with the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Tom Aspinall. He's got to go to must watch, man. When you watch Tom Aspinall fight, you know it's going to end inside 2 rounds, most likely inside the first minute of the fight. You see what he did to Curtis Blades. You see what he did to Sergey Pavlovich. Sergey Spivak, Alexander Volkov. The dude's cleared out the entire heavyweight division damn near. He's got to go to must-watch. One of my favorite fighters in the UFC right now. He's a dog. Best heavyweight on the planet. He destroys. I'll say that again. He destroys every heavyweight on the roster, and that includes every heavyweight. Tom Aspinall, the best heavyweight on the planet, and it's must-watch. It's finish after finish after finish after finish. When I watch Tom Aspinall fight, I get hype. I get nervous. I start shaking a little bit. He's got to go at must watch. Next up, Belal Muhammad. I don't think I could put him in the Belal Muhammad tier. Like, low-key, I'm going to go mid. For me, he's not that boring, guys. Like, I think it's simply just a trend to hate on Belal Muhammad. In my opinion, I actually like Belal a little bit. He seems like a good dude. And against Leon Edwards, I actually enjoyed that fight because I was shocked at how good the performance was. If a performance is so damn good, I will find it entertaining, to be honest. I'm not going to put Belal in the Belal tier, funny enough. I'm going to put him in the mid because, yeah, he's not getting finishes all the time. He has like one finish in the UFC, I believe, against Sean Brady. But I still like watching Belal fight. Don't hate on me. I'm not a casual. I'm not a loser that just hates on fighters just to hate on them. Belal, I'll go into the mid. Next up, Zhang Weili. I'm going to go with the always entertaining because she is so skilled, man. Zhang Weili is so skilled. My favorite women's MMA fighter. When you watch Zhang Weili fight, you know you're going to get high-level mixed martial arts. Yeah, there's not much else to say. I love Zhang Weili. You guys love Zhang Weili. We love watching her fight. Simple. Next up, Dricus du Plessis. I'm going to go... I'm going to go with always entertaining. The fight with Izzy was very entertaining. I loved watching that. The fight with Sean Strickland was kind of meh because of Sean Strickland. But when you watch Dricus's fights against Darren Till, Derek Brunson, even Robert Whittaker, these are really entertaining fights. I don't think he's on the level of Tom Aspinall because Tom Aspinall is Tom Aspinall. But Dricus is one of the most entertaining champions we have right now. If Dricus is fighting, you gotta tune in because he doesn't seem like the most skilled and technical fighter in the world, but somehow he wins, and he makes it entertaining in the process. Dricus du Plessis, one of the most entertaining guys we have in the UFC right now. He's going to go into always entertaining. Next up, Merab Dvalishvili. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to drop it down. I still think Belal is somewhat entertaining, but I think Merab is just a tier above. But what I call Merab moderate... I'm going to put it... Merab is a moderately entertaining fighter. The fight with Sean O'Malley, I know he didn't do much, but Merab makes it fun. If he's picking up Henry Cejudo, if he's kissing Sean O'Malley for some reason, if he's dominating Petr Yan. I know I didn't like to see him dominate Petr Yan, but, he's moderately entertaining. When Merab steps in the octagon, you know it's a big fight. Against Umar, that's going to be a great fight. Sean O'Malley did less against Merab than Merab did in that fight, if that makes sense. I'm going to put Merab in moderately entertaining. I like this guy. I like watching Merab fight. and he's got a very funny personality. And in terms of pure entertainment, I'm going to keep it to, shit they do in the octagon, but Merab's skits outside of the cage are hilarious. The one he did after beating Sean O'Malley was top tier. That shit was S tier. Moving on. Raquel Pennington. No disrespect. I'm not going to disrespect anybody in this video, but objectively, she is not the most entertaining UFC champion. I'm going to put her in the Belal Muhammad category. If no disrespect, but I would choose to watch every UFC champion above her. And that's just the facts. I'm not going to call her a bad fighter because that's simply not true. She's a world champion, but compared to the other fighters on this tier list, I'd rather watch them fight. So Pennington has to go in the bottom, in the Belal Muhammad tier. Next up, Alessandre Pantoja. I'm going to put Pantoja at the top of moderately entertaining. If there was a tier below always, or a tier between always entertaining and moderately entertaining, he'd be there. Because honestly, Pantoja is underrated. He's underrated in terms of his skill set, and he's underrated in terms of his entertainment. Now, I think Pantoja is very beatable. I think Kai Kara-France should beat him. But that's a point for another day. In terms of pure entertainment, that Brandon Moreno fight was very entertaining. The one against Steve Erceg, very entertaining. Pantoja's style kind of creates little wars, and I like that. When I watch Pantoja, I know it's not a heavyweight fight. I know it's not an Alex Pereira light heavyweight title fight, but I'm going to see high-level mixed martial arts, and these guys are tough as hell, man. They're going to give us a good fight. If I made the tier list, Pantoja would be between always entertaining and moderately entertaining. Oh, shit, I didn't even see this guy was on the tier list. Max Holloway, always or must watch. I don't care. I don't care that in the past, he didn't get so many finishes. When Max Holloway is fighting, I'm slamming my table. I don't know why. Let me calm down. Take a few breaths. When Max Holloway is fighting, you must watch. The dude's the highest level of mixed martial arts. I picked him to KO Justin Gaethje. That shit happened. I'm picking him to get finished against Ilia Topuria, but that doesn't change the fact that Max Holloway is one of the most entertaining fighters in UFC history. If there was any fighter to be this entertaining without getting a ridiculous amount of finishes, it's Max Holloway, one of my most favorite UFC fighters of all time. I love Max Holloway. If you don't like Max Holloway, I don't even know what to say to you. Let's move on. Islam Makhachev, the best fighter on the roster, must watch. In terms of pure entertainment, this dude is so underrated because people will have the stigma, they will have the bias that, he's Dagestani, he's not that entertaining. No, this dude puts on ridiculous fights. He gets finish after finish after finish. Look at the Dustin Poirier fight. Incredible fight. Look at the Charles Oliveira fight. For as long as it lasted, it was fun. The Volkanovski fights. Islam Makhachev is one of the most entertaining fighters on the UFC roster, and people only shit on him because he is Dagestani. That's the only reason. Islam Makhachev, one of my most favorite fighters on the roster now. I know I'm going to say that a lot, but Islam is high-level, entertaining, and he's got a funny personality. Islam is going into that must-watch category. Next up, Jon Jones. I'm going to go with moderately entertaining. Now, if this was a prime Jon Jones, he'd probably go into the must-watch because I've watched every UFC Jon Jones fight on multiple occasions. This dude has some incredibly, entertaining fights. But at this point in his career, you can look at his past few fights. Would you call them the most entertaining fights in the world? Cyril Gane didn't want to be there. Thiago Santos, okay. Dominic Reyes brought the heat, not Jon Jones. Anthony Smith, these aren't the most entertaining fights in the world, so I'm going to slot the second best heavyweight, in my opinion, into that moderately entertaining tier. Let's move on to Alex Pereira. Yeah, must watch. It's Alex Pereira. Let's move on. Ilia Topuria, must watch. Might be my favorite fighter on the roster right now. In terms of complete skill set, he's got it. He's got the boxing. He's got the grappling. He's got the wrestling. He's got power. And I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think Ilia Topuria has the most power on this list. I know people are going to be like, oh, it's Alex Pereira's left hook. No. Alex Pereira doesn't put people out cold like Ilia Topuria does. He's put people out cold in the featherweight division, in the lightweight division. Damon Jackson, Jai Herbert. Like, he puts people out cold. Pereira doesn't do that. Even Tom Aspinall doesn't do that. Ilia Topuria has the most power out of any UFC champion, and Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway is one of my most anticipated fights in the past 5 years. And I don't think that is an overstatement. That fight's going to be incredible. Incredible. Topuria has got to go into the must-watch tier. Wrapping up the video, Valentina Shevchenko, she's going to go into moderately entertaining, maybe mid, because her most recent fights, I'm going to go into moderately entertaining because she has some incredible fights in her past, but most recently, the fight with Grasso wasn't that entertaining. The fights beforehand, they were decently entertaining, but I cannot put her, in the Dricus du Plessis Zhang Weili tier, no way. But I think she's a little bit better than Belal Muhammad. This is the tier list. Now, if you want to rank them inside the tier, I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with this. Because I like that. The only reason Tom Aspinall isn't higher is because the other divisions, like the featherweight, lightweight division, are much more skilled than the heavyweight division. So I'm going to put Topuria 1, Islam 2, Pereira 3, Aspinall 4, Holloway 5. I like that. We're going to go Dricus over Zhang Weili. We're going to go... I like this. I think this is the list. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Follow all my socials. Link will be in the description. Peace out.